Hey composers, Heyde here, hope you're all doing well. I wasn't planning on filming this video, but recently I have met up with a lot of different composers looking to make it in this industry, and it's made me think and reflect on my own career and kind of consolidate my thoughts in a way to hopefully create an unfiltered, no BS take, my take, on what is required to succeed in this industry. Now, there are many, many ways to succeed in the film music industry, so take this with a grain of salt, of course, but this is based on my opinions and my personal experiences. So the first thing I think that's the most important is to recognize that what you're essentially building here is not some end goal. It's not some, marker that once you hit this, you've succeeded. You're building a lifestyle. And very often when I talk to composers, they are seeming to look towards one specific goal, like I really want to write for Pixar. I really want to work at remote control studios. And that's fine, and it's a good thing to aspire to, but sometimes you can get so caught up in that process that you stop paying attention to how you feel every day while you're working. And this is a very process-oriented career. In other words, what you're doing every day is what the career is. It's not you deferring your happiness so that you can hit some goal. So I always encourage you, or anybody that I talk to really focus on the lifestyle. What does it feel like? When are you happiest? What does it look like for you to have a lifestyle where you're enjoying what you're doing? That doesn't mean you're enjoying what you're doing every day, obviously. I love what I do, but I have plenty of days where I don't want to get up in the morning and I'd rather just sleep in and hang out. But at the end of the day, I enjoy my lifestyle, and that's something that I've cultivated and am now working to protect because it's something I've built for myself. This is my career. The next thing is something that I know a lot of composers don't want to hear, but you have to be patient. This career is a very, very long, it's a lifelong career, really, but even just to get your foot into the door and to get to a point where you're making a living doing it can take 10 years for many people. It certainly did for me. I started composing when I was 7 years old, and only in the last few years has it become my sustainable income source, composing specifically. So you really have to exercise patience, and it's kind of a two-part process because the first part is just exercising mental patience, being able to be patient and stay sane. And then the other part of it is being able to be patient and financially stable, which is a very, very challenging thing for a lot of people. So the solution to that, could be really whatever you need it to be or want it to be. But I know a lot of people who will take non-musical jobs in order to sustain their income while they pursue their music career, and that's totally valid. I know other people who will kind of compromise, meet halfway there, and do stuff like copyist work or orchestration. That's kind of what I did in order to make their ends meet, which is fine. But whatever it is, you need to find a way to sustain both. And it's really important that you think long-term and do that. If you just jump in and take a full risk, sometimes in a very rare chance you can seek that reward. But in a lot of cases, you're just putting extra stress on yourself if you just throw it all in at once. And I think that to make something sustainable, you have to focus on what you can literally sustain on a day-to-day basis. So find something that works for you. You can be at peace with yourself when your career is slowly unfolding, and you can also sustain yourself financially. So you have the buffer and the opportunity and the time to be able to invest into your career long-term. Another thing that is incredibly important is you have to bring something to this industry. And I don't just mean like you have to be super talented or super smart or super funny. You don't have to be anything that you're not. But whatever it is, you have to bring some element that makes people go, I want to work with that guy. And it could be a skill set. It could be a disposition. You could be a fun person to be around. You could have crazy stories. It could be you're great on camera or you're a great speaker. It can, the difference between it being a personality trait and being a professional trait or a craft-based trait doesn't really matter because in this career, you are the composer. You're both the person promoting your music and you're the music and you're the manager. You're all of those things. So I would explore what strengths you have that make you you and find ways to make those things known to other people. Because the other element of that is, you might be a great storyteller, but you simply putting that on an application, that's telling, and you need to show that. You need people to see that and have it be readily apparent on you in some way. The reason why I have a YouTube channel is partially that, is I want to show, not tell. So I want to showcase my experiences and who I am. So when people hopefully want to work with me, they get an idea of who I am to begin with and what kind of music I like how I work. I want that whole process to be transparent and something that can be discovered by somebody else instead of something that I have to pitch to someone over coffee. And the last point I want to make is, in order to really, really thrive in this career, you need to focus on the needs of the people that you want to work with, not on your own needs. This probably sounds obvious, but there are a lot of people who don't realize that what they're really focusing on is their own needs. When you reach out to a composer and you want to connect with them with the hopes of eventually writing music for them, you're focusing on your needs. You're not focusing on their needs because you don't know what their needs are. And a really, really successful strategy I've had in this career is to ask a lot of questions from people. Because when you ask questions, you get answers back, and you can slowly learn and observe what people need, what they struggle with, what's difficult for them, and wait for a natural opportunity for some skill set that you have to be able to aid them. It's also just a good mindset in terms of being a good person and having a collaborative mindset to begin with. Because when you focus on other people's needs, it makes you feel good if you can be of service to them. Whereas if you focus on your own needs, you can tend to feel a little bit resentful at times if people aren't meeting your needs. Again, what I mean is I don't mean to put all of your needs on hold. Your needs are valid for sure. But what I'm saying is to have an emphasis and a bias towards the needs of other people, particularly in the beginning of your career when you want to be of service. If you want people to hire you, you have to be of use to them at the end of the day. And so focusing on their needs is a way to really make sure that that's met. I talked to my friend Frank Tedesco about this a couple days ago because it was on my mind, and he brought up a great point, which is, there really are no shortcuts. I think a lot of the time when we're really eager for answers, in general in our career, but in general, we tend to look for shortcuts without realizing it. We're looking for somebody to say, oh, well, did you check out this website? And there are all the job opportunities that we've missed, or something like that. But there really are no shortcuts. This is about a mindset and a lifestyle. And it's so important that you pace yourself through this. You don't want to burn yourself out so quickly and get so discouraged that you stop before your career's even started. You have to be able to find something that's sustainable to you. Don't look for shortcuts, look for opportunities and explore constantly, experiment, be willing to fail because you will fail many times, I certainly have, and be willing to adapt from those failures and learn. You are building your own path in this industry, so you're going to get advice from lots of different people telling you, do this, don't do that, but at the end of the day, you got to trust your gut and just be willing to follow your own journey. My personal mantra this year has been to build the career and lifestyle that I want to be living. Not the lifestyle of composers that I admire, but mine, my personal lifestyle and workflow and career. So I encourage you all to continue exploring and figure out what that means to you and what your career looks like. I hope there's some tangible information in here for you all. Again, this is something that's on my mind, and I was just dying to make a video about this and share my thoughts. So if you found this useful, you can leave a like and subscribe for more. And if you have more specific questions about the music industry and what it takes to be a film composer, then shoot me a message in the comment section, and I will get back to you potentially in another video, because these are kind of fun for me to do. So thanks as always for watching, and see you in the next video.